And you are watching Fox 13 News at 9. I'm Rob Sneed in for Darcy Thomas. We want to start with breaking news out of Whitehaven, where police swarmed a neighborhood after 2 men were shot. Now, that's north of Hickory Ridge Mall, but there's also an elementary school right across the street from where that occurred. And so that is certainly disturbing to folks out there, the fact that that is in such close proximity to children. Now, we also know that this all started when a woman was just walking her dog a few weeks ago, and her dog actually discovered a human skull in that exact spot. And police, all they told the woman at the time was that this was an ongoing investigation. Now, this was back in March. Well, you certainly felt that man's words as he was kind of speaking about his experience. And of course, Martin, we will get the rest of that package within the next half hour. But thank you so much for reporting live tonight. Again, that was Martin Staunton reporting live. A paperwork problem raises concerns about police training in Millington. A Millington police instructor is suspended without pay. This after leaders say training records were not properly documented. And they say more than a dozen officers, including a chief, are missing required training paperwork. Leaders stress that this does not mean officers skipped training, but right now the department cannot prove they completed it. The issue came to light during an internal audit, and it showed gaps in missing records.
Important races in our community.
Yeah, and at the top of our list tonight, the primary for the Democratic nomination to be Shelby County mayor. Now, 7 Democrats are facing off tonight. Fox 13's Kate Beery is live outside a polling station in East Memphis. And Kate, walk us through that crowded field. That bill now heads to Governor Bill Lee's desk. Fox 13 education reporter Rosalind Freeman has been following this breaking story all day. And a bigger question tonight is coming up. What exactly is the bay and where did it come from? Police say that the remains belong to children. Our team coverage continues with Martin Staunton. And Martin, this isn't just in the middle of nowhere. All right, we hope you stay dry out there as rain made its way through the Mid-South today. But there's a big cool down on the way. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Rob Sneed. Fox 13 meteorologist Evan O'Regan is live in Severe Weather Center 13. And Evan, I know you felt that chill outside. All right, tonight, Tipton County Sheriff's deputies are searching for a suspect. They say he ran from his car following a pursuit and a crash. Now, deputies say they are searching a wooded area in Covington. That's near Highway 14 and St. Luke Road. Residents in the area are asked to report anything suspicious. New tonight, Memphis police say a man is dead and a woman in critical condition. This after a shooting in Cordova. Officers arrived at a hotel on Ikea Way around 11 this morning, and they say authorities pronounced that man dead at the scene. First responders took that woman to the hospital, and right now, all of this is still under investigation. And 2 Memphis rappers facing allegations of kidnapping and robbery. Federal prosecutors say it stems from a contract dispute between Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, and the owner of the record label he signed to, Gucci Mane. A community said goodbye to a 13-year-old killed in a school bus crash in Carroll County. And sadly, she was one of 2 girls that lost their lives. Family, friends, and teachers remembered Zoe Davis as a student who touched countless lives in their short life.
This is breaking news.
I'm Rob Sneed. We interrupt your regular scheduled programming with breaking news. Let's get right to it with MPD at Ridge Meadow Parkway. Thank you so much for that report. Now, of course, again, as Troy said, 3 young children's bodies were found there, ages 3 to 7. That's according to C.J. Davis, the police chief of the Memphis Police Department. Of course, stay with Fox 13 News throughout the day for the latest details. And of course, we will have live updates on air and online on our free Fox 13 News app. For now, we'll get right back to your regular programming, and we'll see you back again at 5 o'clock.
Fox 13 News at 10 starts now.
Oh, okay, go. Oh. Okay, so they're shooting tear gas right now.
Breaking news out of Senatobia, Mississippi. Protesters, along with our Fox 13 News crew, hit with tear gas during a protest at the Walmart, just 2 days after a baby was shot and killed by a Senatobia police officer. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and sticking with us after the game. I'm Darcy Thomas. Now, the family has identified that baby as 1-year-old Cohen Wiley. Baby Cohen died Sunday after a police officer shot into the car he was in. Today's protest started peacefully on Senatobia's Main Street. but ended in a cloud of tear gas at the Walmart where that shooting also took place. Fox 13's Rob Sneed joins us live in Senatobia tonight. Rob, just to be clear, you were also hit with that tear gas today.
Standing right there in the crowd tonight, Darcy. It happened just after 7 o'clock. The folks that got here, it wasn't anything out of control initially, nothing crazy. And maybe one or two people threw a couple of water bottles, but it wasn't anything that was violent or out of control. Then all of a sudden, within 5 minutes of being here, an officer shot some tear gas, actually rolled it on the ground. We heard that initial explosion, and you saw in the video, we ran. And when I ran down here to the pharmacy area over here thinking that I was kind of out of Dodge. Well, that wasn't the case. I heard two more go up behind me over here, and then I heard two more go off over here, and that's when we all started running. Things got extremely chaotic. People were coughing. I was coughing. It was hard for me to breathe. I even started feeling nauseous. I saw people having a hard time trying to see. I actually had to try to help guide a gentleman to his vehicle while I'm trying to get to mine, and it was certainly chaotic. It was scary for a lot of people. I saw folks out here crying as well. And of course, again, you know, we got to our vehicle. We got out of Dodge to get to safety, of course. But that second round certainly did hit us pretty hard. But you can see right now tonight, those protesters, they left. They dispersed. Many of them said they weren't going anywhere, but I don't see any out here. I see mostly police officers and deputies out here guarding this Walmart tonight. Many of them, the protesters, saying that they want justice for this 1-year-old.
That these people let such things go on. Who in their right mind would come out shooting behind two women and a baby? It's ridiculous.
We made sure that our local government understood our demands, and they refused our demands to our face. So we right now are ready to move and do whatever it takes as a community of black people who have been shown disrespect.
And you can hear that frustration and that disappointment out of Cohen's great-grandmother, and community leaders this tonight. Now, Cohen's death is hurting this community deeply, as you just saw. Many other people say that they still have questions about how and why did this happen. And while some online have blamed the child's mother, others in the community blame the police. Around 5 Tuesday evening, community leaders and leaders gathered outside the City Hall, and tensions escalated outside of City Hall while city leaders met inside. Now, at tonight's Mayor and Board of Aldermen meeting, it was decided that the officer involved in this shooting be placed on administrative leave. Again, they placed that officer on administrative leave. The announcement drew applause from some in the crowd, but many still feel they need more answers. Meanwhile, Mississippi Department of Public Safety Commissioner Sean Tyndall asked the community for patience as the investigation continues. He said he could not provide an exact timeline for when additional information or police video will be released, but he promised that the investigation will be transparent.
Again, understand that our goal is to ultimately be transparent in our investigation so that everybody can take a look at that. And if the wrong conclusions ultimately reached, then those decisions will be looked at and reviewed and scrutinized by the public. And that's how transparency creates accountability.
Again, tonight at 10:18 here at this Walmart on 51. No protesters out here tonight. No demonstrators out here tonight. All you see are first responders and law enforcement out here tonight. Of course, all of this still under investigation. I was told by one of the protesters that they plan to be back out here again at 6 o'clock in the morning, continuing to fight for justice for that little boy who lost his life way too soon. Darcy.
That is Fox 13's Rob Sneed. Rob, I am happy to hear that you are okay and that you are safe at this hour. That is Fox 13's Rob Sneed with breaking news out of Senatobia. Thank you, Rob. We're going to start with Fox 13's Rob Sneed tonight. Rob, there were literally hundreds of kids at Tom Lee Park today for Senior Skip Day when that shooting happened.
And Darcy, it was supposed to be a fun day for those teens that you mentioned. There were a lot of them. And actually, when we were coming down here to do a different story, we saw a group of those kids running. They looked terrified. They were trying to get out of here. Many of them got in their cars and just gunned it to get up out of here. And when we stopped at a light just up the block here, I asked one of the teens, I said, what happened? They told me that A female had been shot, and of course, this was not the day that they expected. Exclusive video sent into the Fox 13 newsroom shows Memphis police officers tackling one of two suspects to the ground during a shooting in Tom Lee Park.
We heard gunshots, all that. Everybody just started panicking. Everything happened. A girl got shot, and we trying to help her calm everybody down and stuff.
It was supposed to be a day of fun for teens, senior skip day.
It was supposed to be water balloons and water guns and stuff, and somebody had, I don't know what happened originally, but when we were going to fill, me and her was going to go fill up our water guns.
They started shooting.
Authorities say it happened just before 3:30 this afternoon. Fox 13 News, they're on a different story, saw a large group of teens running with fear in their eyes.
You have reached Memphis 911 emergency. All operators are busy, so please remain on the line. If you hang up and call back, it will cause additional delay in answering your call.
We called 911. I pulled out my phone and I recorded multiple first responders rushing to the chaotic scene. First responders transported a female to the hospital in non-critical condition. The reality of what happened hits many who were out there.
It's sad. Again, it's just sad. It makes me sad. It breaks my heart.
It made me feel like, we can't have fun out here as a community, and it make you not want to come back.
And as of right now, we are still waiting to get the names of those two suspects that you saw getting arrested. And we're also trying to find out the age of that female victim. But as far as the teenagers that came out here tonight, many of them just told me they never want to come back to this park again. Darcy. Tabitha Kimball says that she's been waiting for this for months. She says that the indictments bring her some relief, but it does not completely erase the pain. A Dyer County grand jury has indicted Joseph McCain, Demarius Neal, Pierre Whitelow Jr., Nasir Barr, and Cameron White on first-degree murder charges. Investigators say Jalen Kimball died after an assault inside the Dyer County jail. Kimball's mother says what hurts most is that some of the men charged were people her son knew and trusted.
5 names, and he knew 4 of them. He hung with 4 of them. He'd been around 4 of them. That's what heartbreaking. For one to be with him every single day. For one that he been knowing quite some time. And y'all played a part in that.
And Tabitha also says she will continue to fight for justice for her son. All of this still remains under investigation. In Dyer County, Rob Sneed, Fox 13 News. The victim told me he was not home at the time when that man came and urinated on his property, but he saw it all on camera, and he said he was so angry he rushed home.
The only thing I could think about is what if my wife had been here alone or my children.
James Barnett is clearly angry. The Tipton County Sheriff's Office said Joseph Carl Delfo Jr. is the man who urinated on Barnett's carport. They say he's a process server. That's someone who delivers legal documents to people. Deputies said Delfo got angry when no one came to the door. And that's when the sheriff says Delfo, quote, intentionally exposed himself and urinated in the carport.
Did that look like a toilet to you?
Answer the door.
The camera and ask us if we could see. Why didn't we open the door?
Authorities say this was the second incident involving the same man in just 7 days. Just Monday, police charged him with indecent exposure. Records show in 2025, Delfo was charged with public intoxication, disorderly conduct, possession of a firearm while intoxicated. And now, this. Barnett has a direct message for Delfo.
You're lucky I wasn't home.
And authorities say since that posting on social media, more people have come forward with similar complaints.
Fox 13's Rob Sneed explains how organizers took action so quickly.
Say the message today was all about healing. Organizers of the event said that they also wanted to bring resources to the community. Music, food, and support filled the Lux at Raleigh Apartments Tuesday afternoon, just days after a teenager was killed here.
These are tough situations. It's tough times any times that a mother has to bury their child.
Community leaders brought a Memphis Hope Fest pop-up directly to the neighborhood. And organizers say the goal was simple: let families know they're not alone.
So we brought this to the community to help them continue to be a resilience despite what happened the other day.
Community organizations offered mental health resources, youth programs, and gun safety education.
And we wanted the children and families to know that all of these resources, mental health counselors, after school program, give them something positive to do.
Memphis Police Chief CJ Davis says events like this are about reaching young people before violence happens.
This is an opportunity for us to really wrap our arms around not just our community leaders, but the adults in the community, but these kids, to help them understand how important it is to learn how to resolve conflict without being violent.
Memphis Mayor Paul Young says that the city must also continue to work to keep weapons out of the hands of children.
And what we have to commit to and double down on is making sure that we prevent that from happening to the next mother. We have to make sure that we are responsible with weapons as adults. We make sure that our young people don't have access to them.
And organizers say this is one of many Memphis Hope Fest events they plan on having throughout the year. In Memphis, Rob Sneed, Fox 13 News.